like, these guys want to come on the mic and say, like, hey, LeBron.
That's why he's shouting into the mic, but
it's calm though, man, bro.
And I can never speak to the mic. Yeah, it's a big problem to try and get into this. It's actually
whatever, man.
But yeah, hello and welcome to Our Boys Podcast, episode 14. Episode 24. Shout out Kobe. Shout out Kobe. I'll give you that one. Shout out Kobe. Rest in peace and that. Mamba.
Y'all won't give me.
You know what I mean? Obviously today we've got. You stop trying. Calm down. I didn't say you. I didn't say you.
No, I see. At least my way. I still my way. No, this is my way. Because when these ones about LeBron, you might never say this. Whatever. It's cool though. It's cool though.
I've been a bit aggressive.
Scary. You know what? If I'm gonna be aggressive, calm.
Bro,
Let me be aggressive with it. Let me be aggressive.
It is, bro.
Huh?
People's ears, bro.
Yeah.
I said episode 24, we've got a special guest with us. Obviously, if you could introduce yourself.
He didn't even allow us to introduce our own self.
No, it's true. It's true. So, when Aki's constantly shouting, they know he's here. They know he's here. With your host, Junior, who else have you got?
It's Aki.
You were talking best before.
Y'all know who I am.
Oh, whatever, man.
Y'all know who I am. It's your boy Aki.
I thought you might stop that last episode.
You know, Aki changes his thing. Willy nilly.
But it's your favorite E-man in the building all day, every day, posted up, looking fine, looking straight. Got these waves coming.
No, they're not, though.
Well, they are, bro. They are.
No.
We got verified confirmation that they're coming. Right?
From girls.
Let me see. So we got. So we obviously we got.
You know what's crazy? This is him trying to say. Don't say anything to the nigga,
You see these people who love us found their dress. They just think better than us.
No. And obviously, I said you've got a special guest with us today.
Special.
Go ahead, introduce yourself. Is that it?
What was that?
It's Basheer. Alright, cool. No, it's very good. Thank you for joining us, bro. Thank you for joining us still. So,
what is funny?
But yeah, with that being said though, does anyone want to talk about their week? Or Basheer, you wanna say how your week's been? You had a nice week and that?
Yeah, so far so good. Today's Tuesday, so I'm alright.
That's good.
How have you been?
But my week's been good,
Yeah.
That's nice,
LeBron, Raymond, James Senior won the chip for the Lakers, won the Finals MVP, baby. You got some stuff cooking. It's been a good week, man. It's been a good week still. What about you two? You guys been alright, yeah?
No, I could.
You're right, bro. Well, no. Did you offend you?
No. I just thought he said that there's something, but it's gone.
Okay, cool.
Oh no, my week has been okay. I didn't go out this weekend, guys.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
God for Jesus.
But yeah, dance was
I knocked twice on Saturday. I said, wow.
Still talking about Friday, though.
I said the weekend. Listen, open your yeah.
What's that something to kind of Friday?
Open your yeah.
TGIF and all them things there,
Boy, is it weekend?
It was the end of the week.
This guy. I might find the loopholes,
My week's been good. Crossed the bridge this week.
I can for me. Wait, what's the bridge thing? Alright, tell me after.
The bridge is just Ken. It's just going to
Fam, they've got a problem with me. Look,
the river problem. I just asked a question.
The river is there. Okay. Obviously, I live on one side, very close to the other side of the river. So sometimes.
He said sometimes.
Sometimes.
It's like twice a week.
Sometimes more than that.
There's some questions I need to ask you.
Don't ask me no questions.
No, we going to start a dialogue.
We've already started. Don't worry about that.
Real talk. Actually, what about your... Wait, okay. No, you want to defend yourself?
No. I don't need to defend myself. Look,
Easy.
where we live, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, it's far enough from London, innit? So obviously, there's different travel routes, innit? Like if you're going to the east side or central, you don't have to cross the bridge.
Nah, I hear you, bro.
But if you have some business in South London, you get me? You might have to cross the bridge.
If you have business in Kent, Gravesend,
Yeah.
Bourne.
Sorry.
Because somebody has to slap you with a long time.
I wish it would.
Nah, your life's exciting, even though
It's a very exciting life.
it's exciting, bro.
A very, very exciting life.
They didn't call it the Nightcrawler for free.
They didn't call him Cal for no reason, bro. It's all the reason to shout at Mont. I think Mont said we didn't give him his dues for that still. But you know, money good Mont, man.
He's a pagan fan.
But yeah.
My dude.
But yeah, what's it called? Hey, so I posted that uni struggle, yeah, that video, and the guy that actually done it, you know, you might know who it is. You know the
Uni struggle. I ain't seen the uni struggle thing.
when we're talking about
okay.
the green peas and Nutella. This is what he said. But if you don't have anything else, what was he supposed to do, please? You man that went midness love to act bridge.
No, the struggle was real, but the struggle was never that real. I said the green peas and you have a mother at home. Call her. Mama, I can't eat. I said green peas and even your mom would be like,
my son, please, let me tell you, man.
Whoa, what would you say?
Man couldn't even get toast and tuna or something.
Yeah, the toast and tuna.
you like buy bread for the Nutella.
What would you say that was like one of your toughest things that uni that you like one of your toughest struggles that you do?
Toughest struggles.
Like, obviously, I know you know.
No, we know. Hey, he had it good enough.
You know that's the difference. It ain't said differently and that.
Stop. Is it struggle? What drink is that?
No need for sponsorship. No need for you. What's the finance? No need for that.
What cocktail is that? Struggle?
That's more money.
Hey, are you guys gonna let him say that?
I can pay.
Well, you're asking me by force. You're cheap.
No, honestly, in your.
Are you gonna lie to
No. Flow.
Oh no, but toughest struggle. Do you know what? Being at uni was very similar to being at home for me. So I think the struggle was probably getting used to different characters in uni. I think.
Really?
If I'm to be honest,
Look,
yeah.
I knew it wasn't gonna be money.
Nah. If I was with you, no, man. I ain't there yet.
So different characters that
You mateys.
Yeah, especially at the start. It was just interesting people.
I can definitely relate to that. In terms of like the different characters.
Yeah.
These guys know that. You know, growing up, I was quite boring. I was quite, you know, to myself. So university just opened my eyes. I said, oh my gosh, wow, so many different people.
Nah, I hear that still.
What shit was yours?
Oh god, that needs a whole episode. That needs a whole episode.
Junior,
Let's not get it. Briefly, I'll probably say that. I'd actually say the actual university itself, like the social side for me, like that actually came quite. Let me say naturally, you know, like I got out of my shell quite quickly, but the university education side of it, like I really, because I was like maybe in my cohort there must have been like about 250 that we started with. In the second year we were down to like 50 students.
Jesus.
The second year.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And then in terms of ethnic minority, I was like, there was maybe about 5 or 6 black guys from the UK.
Okay.
Do you get it? Like the others are from Africa coming over. Actually mixing and knowing your people is like it's difficult. Like you're just struggling by yourself.
Yeah.
Like even lecturers and that. Like Man's not bad mouth my uni and that, but yeah, they were of no assistance. Like, fam, like you'll be shouting them, like big man. this course that you said, yeah, help me, like, bro, it was uni was a. What we done now? You know, glory to God and everything. But
it was hard, man. You know, I learned on the pod that it's only on the pod that I heard about you going to make the plug, you know.
I'm screaming.
So I need to ask you about that.
no. But this is our podcast, yeah?
Yeah, on the pod.
We do the questions. Do that question, man.
I mean, this is after.
Come on, pal. The interview was there.
Why should I do that, yeah?
Why should bring me on?
Talk about uni though. Would you lot, if you could go back, would you guys change anything about uni or change the course you would have done?
Nah, man, I had a blast. I loved uni, man. It was a very good time still. Yeah, I didn't have no issues.
I think I would do a different course, man.
Yeah, I might have done a different course.
I think you managed to call something like a myth. That course sounded like a myth.
What about you, Ashley, if you would have changed the course?
Yeah, I've always said I probably would have done either history or philosophy.
You know,
like what I done was.
What did you do? Like
Chem-Eng, but
sounds miffy, man.
Yeah, it wasn't as interesting. I enjoyed it, but it's not. I
feel like most engineering disciplines are not what you expect.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah,
they're not what you expect. From the glamorize it. Oh, sure. Become an engineer. Ha!
And I feel like it's unnecessarily hard as well because of like they want to make it a thing. It's like,
fam, like. Just break it down to me, like, no, I have never done this before. Like, you expect, I've come to university to learn. I've actually come here to learn, and I'm just struggling.
You're trying to teach me something already an expert.
It just seems like basically just go there just to memorize and come for exams and wing it, basically.
Yeah.
Bare times I just winged it, fam. Just out here, fam. Yeah, nah, uni, I wouldn't change it for anything though. No, I enjoyed it still. I love the uni that I went to. And the man them that we were staying with still.
No, that's nice. Kyoto.
Whatever, man. But yeah, obviously the reason why, you know, we got our guy Bash on, you know, we wanted to just talk about, seeing as this month's Black History Month, and seeing as what, it was 2 weeks ago since it was Nigerian Independence Day, innit? Yeah, geez. Shout out. Oh, damn, I was going to wear my Nigeria top today. Damn.
Sorry.
It would have been a shot still.
Not gonna lie, but it's still 2 weeks late.
I know, but you know.
I'm just saying.
Don't mind.
Be a pagan, fam. Don't worry. Shout out Nigeria. Super Eagles go. No.
No, I guess not.
Bro, did we not lose our last match to Algeria or something?
Algeria African champions though.
Algeria
Algeria African champions though. So they got Mahrez and them and they got to give them props.
But yeah,
they're good.
Yeah, no, they're actually good still. But yeah, no, I just wanted to delve into things in Nigeria. Obviously, everyone's seeing what's going on at the moment. I don't think I'm that up to date with what's going on.
So it's basically the hashtag that most people have probably seen is EndSARS, and there were units set up in Nigeria to tackle anti-robbery. Is a robbery? Yeah. But they've actually become the perpetrators of the crimes that they've been commissioned to stop. So it's been made aware that they've been targeting well-to-do youths. Like if you look a certain type of way, if you dress, act a certain type of way, you'll be made a target, and you will just be unfairly treated, in some cases killed, without any due reasoning. Is that correct to say?
I guess without due course.
Yeah. So in Nigeria, UK, America, everyone's been protesting the end of SARS, and on Sunday it was announced that the unit had been disbanded. However, come Monday morning now, it's been made known that even though they've been disbanded, that the police have now taken on the mantle basically to come and continue to brutalize these protesters and basically continue, like, even though they've disbanded SARS, police have basically just taken up what SARS was doing now and are still out there brutalizing. Like, I mean, the recent weeks there's been so many murders, there's been so many conspiracies. Like, there was even one story now that in all the protesting, there must have been like a stray bullet that must have hit one of the generals or commanders. Now they've now said, alright, it was a protester. But if you see the videos, the way these policemen are holding guns, like, fam, anybody's gonna get it. Like, I was showing my dad, and he was just like, fam, it doesn't make any type of sense. And these men are protesting on the behalf of the police even. They're basically saying, increase the police pay. Because
so you have to start harassing.
Yeah, fam, there was a statistic that came out, like a police officer is like an entry-level police officer is 9,000 naira, which is like £18 a month.
That is crazy.
A month, £18, bruv.
Currency is finished, man.
So, not family, but it's true though, but damn.
I said 9,000 to 18 bar, fam.
Like, it's actually done now. So, like, there was like 5 things that these guys are protesting for. They're looking for the increase of wages for policemen. They're looking for better training for the police force as well. They're looking for the release of all the protesters. They're also after proper inquiries and investigations for those SARS officers that have been attacking and have killed so many innocent lives as well. And I think the last one was for the complete I don't know the English. Thank you, sir. Dismantling of the unit and like another unit just to close everything off. Like they're asking for good things. Like they're not asking for anything far-fetched. But Nigeria government are moving like wishy-washy with it. Even in Port Harcourt now, a governor came to say that no one's allowed to protest. Come and see, I think it was like Fowles or someone, they must have done a video on Twitter, and it was getting out there. And then at the end of his speech, like they all just shouting, "Who are you? Like, who are you to tell us that we can't protest? Who are you? Who are you?" Like, fam, like, how can you tell Nigeria must be a democratic country? You can't tell me that I'm not allowed to protest for something that is within my right. So that's basically what's going on in Nigeria right now, like the short of it. But yeah, like fam, more time you can follow all of this stuff on Twitter. I'm not even on Twitter, but I've been receiving the information, like, and fam, it's just sad. Yeah, it's just sad. Like that is our home. Do you get? Even though like we're all born here. Were you born here? Yeah. Like even though we were born here, like that is our home. That's our heritage. And to see the treatment of our brothers and sisters is like, what more needs to be done? Like Nigeria is probably one of the wealthiest countries in Africa. Like full of resources, natural resources, full of knowledge, but the leadership and the governing of that nation is just corrupt.
Yeah, very corrupt.
It's just corrupt, and it's just sad to see from this side of the world. Like our parents had to leave our rich nation to come and struggle in another land. Like deep it.
It just kind of seems to me that not, you know, obviously, you know, you have there's not really, I wouldn't say anomalies, but you have the people that obviously do well legally, but it seems like the main people that are like the big, like the people that have power and peace are like they've had to do something behind the scenes to get that power or peace. Yeah. That's from the outside looking in. It might not be true, but it really does seem like that's the only way that you're gonna be somebody in Nigeria, and that's why so many parents have had to come here. Because obviously, if you could legit, like, I wouldn't class here as a good example, but you know, you can legitly make it in it. So you know, you'll do that. But for you to leave your own country to come somewhere else to struggle,
that's my biggest.
To come and do what, cleaning jobs, all of these little jobs to survive and make ends meet when you first start. Like, it just goes to say how that country that you left behind is. Like, I think one of my uncles, everyone's a politician, innit? everyone knows government, everyone knows news, everyone's a politician, innit? And you know, when my dad went there, she was just telling me stories about my uncles, innit? And how, you know, they do certain things to get power, they do so and so, you know. Do certain like secret societies, all of this stuff, like try and get people like arrested for them to go into office and all of that. And you know, before I kind of looked up to my uncle because I was like, yeah. But that was when I was in the world, and so I was thinking, yeah, no, you come England, you know, you splash, you get Gucci, you get that. Yeah, like, you're wavy still. But then, like, since I've heard them stories, like when he comes in, I just look at him, I'm just like, is that it? Like, you know, the amount of lives you might, I don't know if he has, but you know, what it makes you feel like, how many lives have you ruined just for you to be in the position you're in? Like, and it's a shame. It's a big shame how, you know, it doesn't seem like anywhere in the world is fair. Like, it just seems like no one's really trying. Obviously, there are some people, of course, trying to work together, but it just seems that everyone's always trying to do better or get one up on each other. And yeah, man, it's a sad situation still. It's a sad situation.
Have you been following the news? Like Nigeria and
myself. I haven't really followed the NSARS heavy, but of what I've seen, it's quite funny because now, you know, at the start, no one was really joining the youths in terms of trying to end SARS, but now that they've made some time ahead with, everyone's joining in like, I'm supporting you, which is quite funny. But to your point as well, I think it's a bit, although Nigeria should definitely do better, right? It's a bit harsh to put, not that you're putting blame on them, but it's a bit harsh to put all the blame on them, because there's a whole series of steps that kind of led up to this journey. Like, for example, Nigeria is 60, other countries are over 300 years old. 100. Like, they've had the time to cut out. Yeah, they've had time to develop. They've had time to weed out those corrupt individuals and create a system that doesn't allow for that. Okay. For example, Nigeria wasn't a country that it wasn't a country back then. Two, it was just given this system to work with, and it's like everyone's gonna want to take control and take the power. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, because even to even go along with your point, that my dad was talking about how we're gonna be in this for a minute, like in this era that we complain about Nigeria, because the actual setup of Nigeria is not like other countries. Like, the history of Nigeria is come from struggle. Like, it's a mixture of like slavery, corruption, greed. Like, Nigeria is a country that had grown from greed. Like, everybody wants a little bit of what Nigeria's got to offer. Like, you can't get enough of what Nigeria has to offer. So someone's got to get put down for someone to go up. Do you get what I mean? And until there's like a balance, my dad was even saying how he felt that the only way that we can move forward if there's a separation. Like, he was talking about how if the North went their way and then the South went their way, you know, like what country was it? Was it like Berlin or
East West Germany? East West Germany. War.
Do you get? Like, he was talking about like having something like that. Like, let there be a total separation of the North governing themselves and then the South governing themselves, because the distribution of power currently, like, is unequal. Like, it's so unequal, and that's why we're seeing so much injustice But honestly, bruv, like, I just stay praying for that country because that's the only thing that I feel like will save that place. Like, it makes me sad, man. Like,
the thing is as well, like I can't really say too much because the last time I went to Nigeria was 2005. So that's 15 years ago. Yeah, it's 15 years ago still. So I'm not in touch like that.
No, but even if you haven't been to Niger, like, you're still Nigerian.
No, 100. I just wanted to ask, like how is life in Nigeria though? Because it seems like the main thing I hear is, obviously bad news spreads more than good news, but it seems like I always hear more of the bad news than the good news, if you know what I mean. Like, man's hearing one time that, you have land in Nigeria, you get there, someone else is saying they have land, someone else is saying they have the same land. Like, it's like, and you just hear these stories and you're just thinking, like, what is going on with this place, innit? And obviously it might come from a place, I wouldn't say ignorance, but I don't know how it is at the end of the day. Like, everyone always says, December, dirty December, December. But like, what happens to the rest of the year? Like, what happens during the rest of the year? Like, I don't know. I just heard of the parties, the performances, but like, during the rest of the year, what actually happens? Like I know, Bash, you've gone recently. You've actually gone recently, innit? So, like, how was it? How did you find the trip when you trip?
For me, it's always fun, I think majority of my family's there, so whenever I go, it's just like childhood memories. Like, even all my cousins that are in the UK would all usually go at the same time and chill out there, which is fun. But you are right though, the land stuff does happen. It does happen, but at the same time, there's good stuff. So, for example, some of the museums there are, I love it. The food. Like, you can, imagine walking into Tesco and being able to get A-class, A1 jollof rice. Like, in Nigeria, you could go anywhere and pretty much get good J rice. Yeah, horse riding. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you know what? When I went in 2005, I saw like, well, there was one place. I don't know if it's like a museum, but it was very cool. How it was like, there was different statues and stuff like that. And I remember going to, I think it was Mr. Biggs. And you ask for, like, because obviously here you get a McFlurry, so you ask for ice cream, and they just give you a tub. Like, a tub, but it was like, I don't even know how much it was. I think it was like maybe like £1. I was like, a whole tub for £1, like. Bro,
what's that nice ice cream? It's called Fan something.
Oh, Fan Ice.
Fan Ice. Yeah.
Bro. Yeah, man. Like Niger, even Zobo.
Wait, when was the last time you two went? I think E-Man's been more recently out of all of us.
So. I ain't been ages, so.
Last time I went, I was like 13 or 12, 13, so maybe like, how old?
You're asking me? Like 11 years ago.
11, 12 years ago.
So.
And I can.
I ain't been since 2005 as well,
Damn.
But it's not your fault though, because it's cheaper to go to Dubai than it is to
Like, man,
man.
I think E-Man said a couple of times, like, let's go Niger for Christmas. I'm thinking, bro, like, tickets are looking like over 1K.
To be fair, actually, we're planning to go this year.
Honestly.
Kuro said no.
And then even with the situation now, how am I going to tell, Papa, I want to go to Nigeria. He's allowing me to go down right now.
This country, no.
But really and truly, like, it still doesn't put me off. Like, I still want to go. Like the thing, like, with Nige, once I get there, I'm sorted. Like, I just need to get there.
Like that.
Y'all
know who I am.
Don't touch me.
Sanya.
Don't touch me.
No, I really want to go still. Like, I really want to go and like learn my own culture, my mom's culture, my dad's culture. Like, I feel like I'm a bit not disconnected. Like, I'm proud to be Nigerian, of course, but it's like some people will think I should know this and that. But I'm like, bro, when my mom didn't teach me her language because her and my dad come from separate places. But my dad said he thought me and my mom would be cussing him. If we talk his language, like, and it's like, it's true, but you didn't let me like get a bit of what, like, you know what I mean? Like I want to know my culture. I want to know where my mum and dad are from. Like I want to know like what's good there, what's happening there. Like I don't want to be going and they'll be looking at me. Yeah. Oh, you see this some English boy? You can't, you know. The one they'll tell you don't go to the market. Why? Because they'll finesse you.
Wow.
They'll finesse you. If they hear this voice, they'll finesse me.
I won't do me, boy. Fam, I remember the first time I went. I think I was like 8 or so. Yeah. Fam, how can I get to my dad's crib? Yeah, and like there was light 1 minute,
And the next
and the next minute there was light. Yeah, that was young. Yeah, so we must have. I think that one of my aunties must have like picked us up with their people down here. Bro, I busted to tears. I was like, fam, this is hella dark. I said, it's hella.
Daddy's like giving you slippers to right side. Oh, wrestlers.
I said, it's hella dark. Yeah, fam. My mum was saying like people were cussing me. They were like, they just smell me, kid. He hasn't seen it.
Yeah, you ain't seen life. You know nothing.
I know. Apparently, like they were cussing me so much. Yeah, my auntie just put us in the car and took us to her crib. Cause like at that time, her husband was like, or you minister or something like that. So fam, there was like there was 24-hour light on them sides, yeah. But fam, they were just abusing me. I was like, big man, in the small London I'm coming from. I'm a key.
Hey, bro.
Life in Nigeria
stuff out there, man.
is different. Like, did you ever have a period where me, I was a good boy, so I don't know. But
wait.
Wait. You know,
Are you mad?
That shit.
What you trying to ask?
Did you have a little sifted knife? A little sifted knife? Did
you get shit?
Did I have any?
Was you a naughty boy?
Shut him out.
Why you triggered?
No, I'm not triggered.
You're learning your culture,
Who
bro.
said I'm triggered?
I'm just asking you a question.
Yeah, let me talk.
So did
Wait, so what exactly are you trying to ask me?
you have a little staycation?
This guy said
You
staycation.
have a little staycation in Nigeria?
Yeah, man, I stayed with my peoples, man. Yeah.
How long was you there for?
I was there for about a couple of years still.
What's up?
Yeah, man.
Come on, Dan Nazi.
Chill. To be fair, I wouldn't say I was naughty. I wouldn't. Yeah. Some of my family look like a sick. One of my cousins went to Nigeria, started chilling with everybody. They have to bring him back.
But defeat the purpose of life.
Yeah, it was. They said, you know, certain people just kind of always drawn to the bad crowd. I was like, listen, send him to North Korea, he go join the army. Like, listen, he just, but
I think as well, them always saying like we'll send you back, it did, like it made you feel more scared of it than you know wanting to.
Yeah, I feel like that as well, like, because why are you making going back home a punishment?
Yeah.
No, punishment. I could have stayed there. I could have stayed there, I'm gonna lie. Still.
Quickly though, to what E-Man said, I remember me and my brother would always play like Resident Evil, you know them 2-player games where it's like it's like a story mode.
Yeah.
And I remember paying. Oh gosh, you get past a certain level, they take like
bro, one time my Xbox short circuited, didn't it? Obviously.
Oh sir.
Was she playing the game? Nepati law.
Yeah, that's pain still.
But then obviously, I think they turned on the generator. But then I think when they turned on the generator, it was still plugged in. It just, bro, stress. So why? But did you ever have any experiences, altercations with masquerades? Oh, like Lord knows, yeah. Before I knew what masquerades were, I actually encountered masquerade. Lord knows, I thought I'd seen demons. I said, what? I just remember, I think I was walking to the market with my cousin. See some masquerades coming. He said he's talking to me, not deep in. I haven't answered. He's turned. He's just seen me running all the way back. Bro, I was thinking, bro, walking? Don't you see this? You see this tall, long? Bro, I ran back to the compound. Man. I said, please.
Man, them people though, are they just weird? Like, I don't know. Like, what's the essence of it though? Because all I kind of saw when I was there is like them just going at like whipping people or something like. Why?
Yeah, there's different ones. Yeah. But I remember I saw one in Lagos, And with this particular one, you weren't allowed to take a photo of them, innit? Like, if you take a photo of them, something bad will happen to you. And I was like, what? I'm a believer, what the fuck? I promise you, yeah, I took a photo. You probably won't believe me, but I hope because it's me, you believe me.
Yeah.
I took a photo, the screen went red, then it went black, then I dropped it, then I ran. It was peak. Was
that the only encounter that you actually had with them?
No, you see them around, innit? You see them, yeah. But what they're meant to represent is like, I guess the reincarnation of ancestors type of stuff. Yeah. That's what it's meant to represent. And they're usually just for festivals and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you man saw one now, I can't lie, I turn the other way still if I saw one now.
No, they answer.
Is it good they know try?
What would they try? They won't try anything.
Bro, I don't know. I'll be like, bro, I got hands. I'm like, you still human, bro. I'm not you out.
The screen went black and red.
It went black and red. My brother will test it. The measure will tell you. I promise you. Both ran.
Are you serious?
I promise you.
But that's just... I just can't comprehend that.
No,
you know what I mean?
Fam, there's spirits in that.
You know what they said? The principalities, the rulers of darkness, in high places. You need to be aware.
It's cause we're on the western side, yeah. That we feel like these things don't exist, yeah. Fam, if you want to see live or magic, live or magic.
I said magic live.
You think Superman, Batman are the only people that fly? Yeah, comes like I should say you something. What? Hey.
Bro, even animals, you can't even trust the animals, bro. No cap, you don't know these plain dress up, fam. One day you kick your dog or a cat, someone will come the next day and say, hey, why did you kick me? What?
I remember actually, there was a time we were on the beach, it was like almost like 10, 11 p.m, so it was pitch black. Now, but anyway, I was in like a room, right? And then one woman was calling me. She was like, "Come." And like it kind of looked like she was fading into the background, but I was so scared. But anyway, she was just someone, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
that was scary though. That was scary.
I thought you was gonna start saying that it's all good to woods. I was gonna say, Bash, is that even you? Is that even you? Come like us or something like that. Wait, so how many times have you gone to Nigeria? You actually got like. It seems like you go quite frequently.
We used to go like every year up until like maybe year 9, and then kind of just slowed down to like every 2-3 years.
Okay.
So
It's start getting expensive, isn't it?
I was gonna say
what was I gonna ask? So in recent times, when did I actually see? Was it in uni that you started this campaign or something? The project
Foundation.
Is that a foundation?
Oh, okay. So it wasn't me that started it, but yes, it probably took a little bit.
Yeah. Like I think it was during uni times or something like that. Like how did you come across that? And do you want to talk a little bit more about it?
About what it is and
Sure. So there's this great man. His name is Victor, and he basically had this idea to start Little Black Nigeria. And what they do is essentially teach people how to make solar streetlights and solar products.
Solar streetlights.
Yeah, solar streetlights, solar lanterns. And yeah, he must have just advertised that, hey guys, I want to do this idea in uni. And I think I just walked past him, and then we spoke. And there was already a team that was working towards it. And then I joined, and since then they're just like family, man.
When was that? Like when did you guys?
Joined? I don't know, maybe like 2017.
Okay.
2017. So the first project was in Makoko. You guys have probably seen it. The settlement on water. Have you guys seen the picture?
Yeah.
So that one, we were there for. So there's about 8 of us. They're special people, but there's 8 of us. And we were in Makoko for like 3 weeks.
On this settlement in Nigeria?
Yeah. So,
did you guys have like a guide out there, or did you guys literally just go and set up camp?
Nah, there was a lot of work that went behind the scenes.
Okay.
Like it took a whole bunch of time before that first project came about. But yeah, we train about, and the thing is, we work with them to build it, and they kind of make it themselves.
Yeah.
So that when we're gone, they know how to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we trained about 35 people. They all made their own solar lanterns as well as chargers. Actually, they made chargers for their phones, which is great. And at the end of like the 3 weeks, we have a gala at this Oriental hotel, so kind of take them out of
the situation. Experience that.
Yeah, sure.
That's nice, man.
Was the Victor guy that started it? Was he a uni student?
Yeah, so he was a bit of both. So he was a part-time uni student, part-time lecturer at another.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Wow.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing still.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about, going and giving back to the community or going back to give to Nigeria, and that's an amazing movement still.
Yeah, that's to see it being put into action. Man.
Yeah, man.
What would you say your motivation towards that was?
Motivation. Everyone just wants to help, bro. But I feel like everyone just wants to help. I feel deep down. Nah. Don't think. I think deep down most people do, but
most.
Okay. No, I think the idea sounds nice, but it's harder to do, right?
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of time, like even money as well. I remember the first time that we all went. If I remember correctly, most of us had to pay our flights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. But I would say that once you get there, it's different because you actually realize that the only difference between you and them is opportunity. It's a different feeling. Like so that was our first project, and then the second project that we done two. So we done one in a community called Saliko, then we done another one in a place called Tomorrow. And Tomorrow, there's like a neighbouring island where supposedly, and we saw it, Queen Elizabeth's house was, and Lord Lugard, who was
colonized.
Yeah. So you see all their colonial buildings. It's quite crazy.
It's that time.
But yeah, no, sorry, bro.
No. But so yeah, when we were there for like 2 weeks in Tomorrow, we put up like 35 streetlights, and they've never seen light pass. Not that they've never, they just, because it's an island, they're off grid, stuff like that. So past like 8, they don't usually see light.
Damn.
So I remember the day that we had installed all the lights and we waited for them to turn on. It's like as soon as they turn on and we see all the boys that we basically boys and girls that we spent like 3 weeks with. So pretty much become like family. You see how they're smiling. It's different still.
It's crazy, bro. You know how mad that is?
It's different.
Because it's like, even when we're driving and there's no light, like you're just thinking,
I pay my taxes.
Yeah, bro.
No street light.
No street lights, nothing. And it's like, and even in Nigeria, think about the roads are not even up to they're not as good as England, and you're scared to be driving in the darkness in England. Like, how is it to be walking around in Nigeria and there's no lights?
Even on this island, there was no cars,
nothing.
It's
like even then, for them to see the streetlights and be so happy, it just shows how much we take for granted. Because like, what can they say street light? That's a normal thing. Like, if one's no one, you're thinking, December what E-man said. I pay my taxes. Like, tell them man to pattern up. And for them, like,
we're privileged.
Yeah, it's bro.
Sometimes you forget like we actually are privileged, honestly.
And that's what I feel like. You see, when we talk about forgive me if you get offended, but when some people say, white people fail to recognize their privilege and stuff, like, we have to realize that in certain circumstances, we too are privileged and we fail to recognize our privilege as well. Like, fam, I can go to my fridge now and my fridge is on. Like, if I'm living in night, I have to make sure that the generator is backed up, so the things in my fridge, that fam is a privilege. Like, I can turn on my tap and water runs freely. Was it not last week that East London were struggling with water.
And everyone was crying.
Do you get? It's a privilege. Like we actually have to take living on this side of the world. Yeah, like our Western society, like we're so quick to look at the micro things, the
First world problems.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we fail to recognize that we have it so good. We actually have it so good. Like if I don't have a job, I know my government's got me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like if my parents kick me out of my house, I know I can get housed. Like sometimes when you're looking back on some things, like even now, in my spare room, my mum's preparing some things to send back to Nige, and there used to be a point here where I'd be like, oh what? Do these people not have cereal and biscuit to be buying back in Nige and stuff like this, like and like pasta and then like when my mum would be breaking down to me like, fam, do you know how much it will cost these people to enjoy this stuff in Nige? Like fam, 18p like rich tea, like. Bro, rich tea, that biscuit is dead, man. Stop it! Stop it!
One of the deadest biscuits.
Alright, now, rich tea, though. Bro. You ain't lying, though. You ain't lying.
That thing is. But when they see that stuff, like, my cousins, like, they'll be messaging me, like, alright, Emmanuel, thank you so much. Like, and I'm like, fam!
I had all this in my snack drawer in uni. Yeah, no, it's crazy. So,
now, but I feel like as Westerners, because we are, even though we're Nigerian, we're Westerners. We have to recognize our privilege, man.
So when they say stupid Westerners,
I don't think I'm included.
Sorry.
We have to recognize our and like it's inspiring. Like you, as Junior was rightly saying, that people will say how they want to go and actually pay homage and do stuff, but is they're actually doing it. Like you've actually gone and impacted a few people's lives, bruv.
Like, I wouldn't even say just a few, because
a whole community.
Yeah,
even. Like,
and that community spreads. It grows and grows and grows.
I'm the prayer that they'll be praying for you, bruv. Like,
yeah, honestly. No, but that I didn't even know the project was like that. That is an amazing accomplishment. In all honesty, that is an amazing accomplishment.
That is inspiring.
The team done well, man. It's crazy. There were times where you stay up like, I don't know, random times in the night to get things prepped.
Yeah.
But yeah, going out with them is funny though.
Like you got stories, like
Yeah, no, bring some stories.
I'm probably trying to think like, okay, what's okay for the pod, but
bro,
be free.
We can speak, brother.
Cool. So obviously there's 8 of us or so, and we're trying to do like, I don't know, most of the money is going towards charity, innit? So we didn't really bring big bucks to like splash like that. So alright, cool. One of the guys on the team is like, oh yeah, let's go Quillox. Now this is the first time I've heard of Quillox. Yeah. Cool, we step into Quillox now, there's bare fireworks. Well, not fireworks, but sparklers.
Y'all get done like that? I don't want to be that guy.
They get lit.
It's crazy, and I've never seen so many nice cars in one place in my life.
Yeah.
Not even in central London.
Yeah.
Swear.
Bro, it's crazy.
Don't sleep on Nige.
It's crazy.
Man, the import business in that is booming, man.
It's
Every day shit come from America.
No cap, all of that is even too much still. We're putting way too much.
So now we step into Quillox now. We're like, alright, cool. What? Let's get a table.
Damn, like that, huh?
Nah, we stand there. We go to one corner. They're like, this is the only table that's left. Bear in mind, this table it's not, the tabletop isn't as big as your laptop. And they're like, it's 700k. We're like, huh?
It's not as big as Junior's laptop.
Yeah, 700k. I don't know how much that is in pounds. But
Let me
I think 1 million is like,
do the math.
1 million is like 2k. So let's say it's over 1k anyway. Bro, we just had to step up. So we step up. Yeah, we had to walk up. We step out now and we end up in a place called Charities.
Wait, 1 minute. £1,420 pounds. Oh my days.
Yeah,
God punish him.
Let these people suffer for 600.
So 1.4. So what? You stepped out, yeah?
We stepped out now. And then we went to this place called Charities, innit? I won't say where it is, but let me say it's an adults club, innit?
Yeah,
But we didn't know, innit?
Gentleman's club, innit?
So obviously now, cool. I ordered my shisha, because I like a bit of sheesh. I ordered my sheesh, the others ordered their drinks and that. And then, obviously it's an adult spot. You look behind you, you see a whole line of, it's like, alright, cool.
Yeah.
I said, alright,
This is what it is.
here we go.
You did just bison, didn't it?
Nah, I wasn't watching. But it was behind me now, cool. Look to my right. Again, same thing. I'm like, alright, cool, let's take another puff. and then this one, it's not even that deep. Anyway, one now walks, yeah, so bear in mind, we're all, like all of us were sat as like a semicircle. Then one now comes in the middle. I'm still smoking shisha thinking I'm cool. And she comes now and she like, should I say?
He's speaking!
She like strokes my face, like strokes my hand. Hey, bro, it was big. We left anyway.
Thank God that was before coronavirus.
Someone still gave me antibacterial.
I was screaming, bro.
But yeah, that day was funny still.
No, damn. You know, it seems like there's
a lot to do in that, bro.
But honestly though, it seems like the rich are rich, like, and the poor are poor. Like, is there no like middle class or nothing working class? It's just either you're rich or you're poor.
Cause fam, even the working class, fam, they're struggling to make it. Like, they're struggling to make. Fam, did I not say that? A policeman in this country is classed as like a middle class, working class man, isn't it?
Working class, yeah.
Do you understand? Like, they all get a pay rise every year or so. Like, police, what you probably on? Maybe like
they're on like
25, 30,
33 or something like
do
that.
you know what I mean? But like, that's working class.
You have me considering. I said, what man they want? Yeah, y'all won't turn your back on me, though, right? Bro, gotta eat.
I'm looking funny, though.
Bro, what? For what reason, though?
Uniform boy.
You are one people.
Police boy.
You are one people.
Yeah,
at some point, I'm pretty sure they had a kid's face on the poster.
Chill, man.
This one we must get it.
Chill.
Wait till I start posting station, he's there.
You see how it's your own people that want to tarnish your name. Listen, that's cool, man, because all, you know, whatever he talking about, man, that guy, he's not alive no more. He's dead.
Thank God for salvation, baptism, brothers.
Glory.
But yeah, how would you, so moving on from that experience now, so you've obviously helped communities.
What you asking about, bro?
Not the gentleman club. Come.
I'm screaming.
Would you play that?
Well, like, the question is this.
Bro, I already told you not to draw me out.
Now, moving on from your experience with with communities and whatnot, like, how was the awareness? What was like the response of people on the other side looking in now, in terms of like us people? Was it like a crowdfunding thing that you guys went into? Like, how did you guys generate funds? How did you guys generate awareness for people to get engaged?
In terms of funds, we had to. So thankfully, our uni, they kind of support people when they're doing these type of projects.
Oh, nice.
So they
What
gave
uni? What uni?
you know nothing.
So was it just uni or not?
No. So they gave us some of the funding. Say that again.
No, I just said uni of.
Oh yeah.
They know you got
My brother got particles up in his brain, man.
No, serious.
Smart.
Yes.
Deceiving the people, but yeah. So they gave us some of the funding, and after it was just pretty much crowdfunding. We had to put out a video, just basically explaining the project, and then a few people in the team had links to different sponsors who gave us different sponsors in Nigeria, particularly banks who gave us quite a bit of funding as well. So yeah. No, it was all good. It was all good.
That's good.
Definitely.
Fam, like, I don't know. Is it like anyone can do it? Do you think like anyone can do it? Do you feel like it's a special type of person? Like, what would you say like the requirements to work in that kind of environment?
In terms of boy, you need patience. You need patience. Do you mean in terms of working in Nigeria? Yeah, if you're definitely leading a project, you need patience, particularly with the most recent one. So, you know, I told you it was an island.
Yeah.
So we'd have to take a boat every day, but let's say we agree on the time of, okay, cool, let's get to the jetty by 9. Just know that the boat ain't gonna arrive by like 9:50. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So things like that. But in terms of requirements from anyone, that wants to join it, you don't really need any. You're just willing to do it, right? Because you realize that these people are just like me. Like there's, you know, especially when you're on the island, you realize that nothing. Like not to be too deep with it, but it's like, what's really important? Do you get what I mean? Like till today, like me and some of them still speak.
Some of the guys on the island.
Yeah, Marco. So there's one, Benjamin. I'll give him a shout out. Benjamin, he just had a kid, he's good. And then there's another one, Emmanuel as well. He's a dope photographer. Like he has, I don't know what phone he has. It's not like an iPhone like you rich boys, but
how dare you do that?
Yeah, you rich boys, but his photos are just special. He's dumb, man.
That's good.
Yeah, as you said, it's just opportunity.
Yeah. Would you guys be interested in doing something like that in the future?
Yeah, honestly, I would. I'd be interested in doing something like that. I think my uncle's just opened up a doctor's clinic there. So he normally goes back and forth in it, and you know, so he left there, came here, trained to be a doctor, doing his things as a doctor, and then he felt, yeah, I want to go back and open up my own practice in Nigeria as well. So you know, that when he told me, and I actually like, because during lockdown we got stuck in Nigeria, so he only just came back like 2 weeks ago.
Mad.
Yeah, can you believe, all the way from like February, fam.
Mad.
When I FaceTimed him and he showed me the clinic, it wasn't, not that it wasn't off scratch like here, but
it was not Harley Street, but
yeah, but you can see that it's good. Like it will help a lot of people, and it's like I kind of want to do something like that as well, because it's like, you know, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? At the end of the day, I like being able to help people outside of just here. Like it doesn't. Bro, in all honesty, I said I've heard a couple. Not everything's been good, but you know, like there's things to help with. There's things to do in it, and you know, if you have the means and you are able to, then why not? Yeah. And then
what about you guys?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think I definitely want to do something in Nigeria in some kind of capacity. Yeah, I think me and Basheer, I've always had a conversation with you about not necessarily having a plan, because I said, I wish I had an actual idea, but I always wanted to do something. Yeah, like I know my dad, he was speaking about, because my granddad he wasn't educated, but he made sure all of his kids got educated. So he was like, you know, Nigeria obviously they made education a very big thing. And my dad was speaking about how he wanted to do something, obviously kind of like to honor my granddad, like maybe a foundation or education wise. Obviously me, I was just thinking that's probably something I could work with him on one day in the future. So maybe, but definitely if an opportunity came along, yeah, I wouldn't mind still.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would definitely love to do something like that still, just to leave my my stand, just to say that I've actually been able to impact the community, generations and lives in it. What I was even gonna say is, do you feel like sometimes when we say stuff like this, like there might be a stigma that why do you feel like you have to be the one to go and help out? Like, do you feel like there's ever some type of like negative backlash? Like some people will be like, these British people are coming to we can't do it ourselves type of thing. Like, do you feel like that's an okay thing for them to say? Because I know that people,
I hear it.
Yeah,
I understand. It's like, oh, it's like say something to him. I'm like, well, why did we ask you to come and help?
Yeah.
But then when you think of it like that, like surely you should just kind of think I'm thinking selfishly, if you know what I mean.
Like them or us.
Them, they're thinking a bit selfish, like being a bit selfish with them saying that. Because like if you want to come and help or do whatever that's not already being done, then surely that should be celebrated, or should be like, yeah, we're building up. Like surely we're all Nigerian innit? But obviously we're I don't know I don't know what to call us in it, like Western or whatever.
Returnees.
Yeah, return. Okay, yeah. we're returnees, but we should still all understand that we're all Nigerian, and we want to give back. We want to help build Nigeria to where it should be. Yeah. I think that's how we should be thinking about it. We shouldn't be thinking that like there's always going to be a divide. Yeah. But it's like, why? Like we need to stop dividing us. So like, but at the end of the day, look. They're Nigerian there, we come to England, they're still gonna, hey, you Nigerian this, you Nigerian that, or they're always gonna say, where are you really from? Like, you're not from here, you're really from Nigeria, innit? That's what they'll ask you. And it's like, if I'm seen as a stranger here, and I'm seen as a stranger in Nigeria, like, where I'm actually from, like, we need to stop being divided, like, even though I live here, I'm still Nigerian, I'm still seen as Nigerian. If I wanna come back and, help Nigeria and build Nigeria up to where it should be celebrated.
I think there's a bit more to that though, and sometimes I can't really. Well, the first thing is the idea of giving back is good, but it can be bad in the sense where we feel like Nigeria needs that charity, and it's like they don't really need it. It's good, but they don't need it, and I think that mindset of I'm coming to help you. You should be grateful. You should be grateful, type of thing, is what causes some confliction. Because, in particular, with the first community Makoko that we went to, they get so many NGOs that come. So NGOs are like non-government organisations, that go and do support. But a lot of them, not necessarily. A lot of them will just go there, take their videos, take their cameras of the poor child, be like they're raising funds and. They come back to the UK, get the money, and then the Nigerians don't see them again. So even when we went, they were like, no photos. Do you get what I mean? So I can't really blame them.
That's sad though.
No, it's true.
Exploitation.
It's true though. It's true. That's why everyone's asking to see proof. Like, like, you want me to donate to this? Like, what's the proof? Like, what have you actually done there? I mean, it's like we raised so much peas in certain organisations, or what is it? Press the red button.
Red
Cross, the one online.
Even that thing there, that's a compassion. Like these things, I feel like they're amazing, but I don't even know where my money's going, really and truly. Like, I feel like unless I'm there in person, fam, you could be duping me, man.
That's the exact same thing as the whole red button thing.
Fam, you can actually just be duping me. You can be sending me the same picture of the same kid from like 10 years ago. I don't know.
Or they'll be writing a letter to you from the kid. Just write it for you.
It's true though.
As much as they appeal to your moral compass and everything, and that's how they get us. Like, because
you actually want to see like real and evidence.
Like, we raise millions, like with that red button thing. Like every year, it's like we raise so and so million, but it's like. What's going on, like?
You know the seniors are on 6 figures. Now, not that they shouldn't get paid. That's not what I'm saying, but...
But if the charity,
people should get paid.
if charity was the main priority, like you could take a bit more of a haircut, basically.
Yeah.
Fam.
Yeah, it's just
I
all
don't know
about balance. But what was you going to say?
I don't know about charities being like the heads of the charities being on 6 figures though, because it's a charity though.
Fam, I need you to. Like, why are you on 6 figures? Like,
What's your roles? What's your responsibility?
It is a hard job, isn't it?
Yeah.
But why? Like, what do you need to be on 6 figures for?
I see it though.
I've got no explain.
I just don't, sometimes how they run, I don't see it. But the reason why I see it is because in order for it to be sustainable, people need to be getting paid their worth. So, for example, like you can't put your heart into something if you still have to think about getting bills paid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with some, I see it.
But so even you sent something into the group chat today talking about, and I've seen something previously about it. A Gucci tee now.
Yeah.
It's like
480. That's what it said.
Where it costs 11 to
30 pounds
to make or something like that. So you see, the profit is
crazy.
Times like, do you get what I'm saying? Once you've taken your overheads and the profit is still insane on top of that.
No one this bro.
But yeah, like, so with that being said now, okay, so you're providing a service essentially. Charity is basically you're providing people in need a service. How much is that service costing you? What are your overheads? How much are you going to pay those people who are actually doing that service now? You say you want to make a profit from this charity now. Okay, what is a reasonable amount of profit for you to withhold in terms of bonuses and pay rise and whatnot? And what is the right amount to say that your services is worth to them? Like, is it a fixed figure that you're willing to give your charity, and then the rest of it you're pocketing?
I think it should be open as well, like the
books.
No,
like charity books, like it has to be open. Yeah. So even like church, my dad's a pastor in it. So like the church is registered as a charity. They have to present their books to like a charity commission that anyone in this world can access.
Okay.
Like the government has a database where you can see like charitable books, but it's like your average person that is like, who's gonna go and check?
Yeah, books can also be doctored. Could also be doctored.
I was down as a witness.
No.
You're like, what you playing there, bro? I know my partner is upright and Simon Pastor. He doesn't do no funny business.
No, not that.
But I know what you mean. Like,
especially those type of corporations.
Yeah.
I guess someone and say, make it look snazzy.
Yeah, like, but I do hear what you mean about the whole giving back thing. It does seem like, you know. I
think it has to come from a genuine place.
Yeah.
You see how you're talking about like NGOs and like their selfish ambitions. Okay, like it's not genuine. At the end of the day, they're looking for awareness, for more people to sponsor them. They take their pictures, they go back, and they're not releasing the right resources they need and whatnot.
Yeah, I feel like it's a serious exploitation of doing people where it's like they don't really have access to go and say, oh, that don't believe that they're frauds. They came and didn't think. If someone came to me and said, bro, let me just take some pictures of you, man. I'll go help you out, and they didn't, I just run social media and be like, yeah, these lot are frauds. Yeah. But they're going people where they know no one's gonna hear you.
Comments gonna be lost or something.
I feel like we need to see more genuine people like yourself. There's even this other guy, I don't know if you guys have seen in Nige, Kokum Foundation.
So the guy that bought their apartment for that guy?
So he's done a lot of things like that.
Yeah.
So even currently now, like the SARS protests and whatnot, he's been providing food for the protesters, like daily, like rice and chicken and these things there, like there's hella processors, so there's hella food in it.
Yeah.
But like we have to see so many more of these genuine guys like rise up and say like we're actually filling this gap of helping our own people. Like I feel like we have all the resources we need to help our country. Like sometimes I feel guilty when I see the other man. The other men feel like they have to be the ones going to help, because these people need help themselves. Like focus on your own. Focus on your own. Leave us to focus on our own. But they're putting us to shame. Like why are there not more genuine guys going and filling this gap?
Yeah. And hey, sometimes it doesn't have to be even just the whole giving food and shoot. That's even some people might just put up wells, like anything to help at the end of the day. Like I think a first good step would be like maybe building a well or something like that. Like I don't know how far. I don't know how far people walk or whatever. But you know, when your parents are saying, I had to walk so far, so far, 5 miles.
And they'll be using all the head there.
What do you guys think about the history of Africa?
Africa in general, I feel like we got played, man.
We got finesse.
We got played, man.
Still are getting finesse as well.
Yeah. I feel like, and again, it is a feeling. It's not factual, but honestly, the greed of man is much. The greed of man is much, and when I say that, like, just because where I'm situated, I'm missing something, but I know somewhere else that has the resources, and I know they haven't got the capabilities to stop me taking them resources, so I'm gonna exploit them until they have absolutely nothing, and I have absolutely everything. And I feel like Nigeria, not even Nigeria, like Africa in general, we've been on the back foot. We've been on the back foot, and there's just no let up. Like, what more do you want from me? Like, they will give us, ever so often, they will throw us a chicken roll. We'll stop slavery. We'll limit the amount of oil and diamonds that we take from your country. What, you got conflict going on? We'll send some UN people to come and keep the peace.
Yeah.
But what we really need is organization. We need structure. Fam, you've actually taken our resources to go and set up structures in your own places. You've gone and set up things in your own own locations, but you've left us to fend for ourselves.
Yeah, I think one thing I don't like as well is just the whole, like for example, remember that time I think you said me something about people, I think people were getting on to Jared Butler or something because of that, he was just taking pictures.
Yeah,
the white savior complex. I think people have this idea where it's basically like we needed them to come, whereas like we never needed them. The reason why we're dependent on them is because of you coming in, and it's like so. And even then, the story of how our interaction with the West is told by them. So it's I won't lie, it's kind of manipulated to an extent because as well, like, you know, a lot of Africa, we've suffered as well because a lot of our tradition was passed down orally. So it's like there's so many things we don't know we missed or that we had to rely on the West to tell us. Whereas like, yeah, we suffered in the slave trade because obviously the oral traditions were harder to pass down because obviously of what was happening. And then obviously where a lot of Western history is documented and written, that's where we suffer a lot. So yeah, Africa, we've faced a lot in it, but still we rise, man.
Yeah.
Still we rise.
I feel like as well, I said, like, I don't think we know our history enough.
Yeah, apparently
basically we wasn't taught like anything. Like, I didn't know what's his name. The richest man ever. Mansa Musa, that's it, Mansa Musa. Like, bro, you know I didn't learn about Mansa Musa until like recently.
I still don't know it.
Bro, I barely know. Like, and that he's one of the richest men in like history. A black man from where? Where was he from?
Mali.
Where?
Mali.
See, and it's like I'm learning about.
By the way, is that Somali or?
No, Mali.
Mali.
Yeah.
M-A-L-I. Just
I did the geography, you know.
This guy's job.
But it's honestly, it's like you have that. Bro, we did not learn about that in school. Man, I'm learning about obviously is that like England, innit? But like Bower, Hayes, all of this stuff is like I'm not learning anything.
Even something like that, like bro, we don't know. They don't teach us about King Leopold and this.
Bro, that was my next person.
In Congo.
Why when they were doing the riots in Belgium, they went for that statue, finished that statue.
Even there's actually so much. Like even like we speak about the slave trade.
Yeah.
But we actually had just as many slaves taken to the Arabs
as well, yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, transatlantic slave trade.
Yeah, like it's just.
Man, I'm taught about these things.
That's what.
This is crazy, man.
I'm as you are talking. Fam, I didn't know that. There was...
Even as well, like we think Africans never had any involvement with the whites or with the Europeans until colonization.
Yeah.
But as you grow, you learn, bro. Africans had interaction with Europe way before colonization. Africans were in Europe. If you go and see ancient Greek pottery, you will realize on the pottery they depicted darker people. So they were involved. Even King Xerxes, I think Ethiopians, I believe, fought with King Xerxes and things like that. But we just don't know this stuff. So you think we were all alone, uncivilized people, and colonization happened. They showed us civilization structure and everything, and that's where, But really and truly, Europe actually benefited from Africa even before colonization, just as much as we. I don't even really benefit from them, to be fair. Like, but. That's a story for another day, man. But I feel like we just need to learn more, innit? I feel like everybody, especially as like you said, you need to learn, but take the onus on, be willing to learn and actually learn. Because a lot of times we just say, I want to know more. But where I can learn more, then go learn more. Like you'd be surprised how much your information of your own home, Africa, has been given to you by the person. I think I think there was a quote. It was like until the lions learn how to write. The hunters will always be the ones who tell the story, and it's like we're being told the story by the people who are hunting us, and it's like what does that ever make sense? You've given Europeans the jurisdiction or the authority to be telling you about African history. So it's definitely important to go learn your history as well. You'll be surprised. You learn so much about Africa. You learn so much about.
I feel like it's about. Asking the questions as well. Like when you don't know the questions to ask, you won't get the answers to them as well. And I feel like even in terms of our situations with like our parents and stuff, that we can learn like our own history and backgrounds from the people who were actually there at the beginning. Do you know what I mean? Like actually speaking to grandparents and whatnot. We need to be so much more engaged, because I can't lie. I would definitely want, because my children would be second generation in this land when they come. I can't have them thinking that the UK is the only thing that's ever existed. Like they need to know where they come from. Like I feel like it's because we are privileged to now know a bit about it. The more education we amass, the more we're able to educate, like it's only now that we're seeing a lot more black males in the education sector now. Like, I was so grateful to Mr. Bakwira in secondary school. Like, he was he the only black teacher?
I think black male.
He was the only black male teacher in the whole school.
Yeah, I think he was the only black male teacher.
And there was only one woman
there was, let's say proper established teachers in the school.
Miss Olobode.
Miss Olobode, yeah.
But even then, they were even trying to cuss her and
that, I know my children are.
Hey.
What
I was gonna say, Bash, what do you think about the? Because it seems to me, it seems like you've done a lot of research about some stuff.
Oh no, I'm still learning, but what I will say is that, to your point before, I think when you learn a bit more about how Africa was dissected, you won't be surprised that we don't learn about the history and so on. And it's not even just us, because even if you ask the former generation, they don't really know either.
Yeah.
If you ask the generation before, they don't really know either. You know, to them it's still like the West is the promised land, because that's what was forced onto them. It's only when you go further back then you realise that when the Portuguese first came to what is now Nigeria, they were in awe. Then they weren't just in awe with the structures and the settlements there, but they were in awe with the women. They were in awe with how, in one particular excerpt I read, they were in love with how the women were treated in the land. So like a lot of things that we kind of like trickled down to be some type of truth wasn't always that. For example, you spoke about Mali and Mansa Musa. In his place, Timbuktu and Jen, that's where they found traces for toilets upstairs. They found ceramic plates which came from China. You know, there was all of these links way before the Westerners came. So yeah, I think the more you realize, the more empowered you feel, the more happy you feel, but at the same time sad, because it's like, damn, what could have been?
Yeah.
That's the question I always have. What could have been? And I don't even think Wakanda was obviously that's like fictitious, right? So it's not really relatable, but you know, when you see, if you Google some of like the ancient settlements, how they lived, how they behaved, how they treated each other, how they looked, you'd be like, wow, like, damn, I wish they were allowed to pave their own way. But
flourishing, you know what's mad, when you said about the Portuguese, because I deeped my surname, when I was searching my surname, there's a bit of, like I think it's Alagoas or something like that. Like that's a Portuguese.
Do you get what I'm saying?
The one thing I think is crazy as well, like we understanding the empires of the older days as well, and you'll see how they're actually affected. Basically, when I grew up, I learned about ancient Greece, and I actually really liked what I learned about ancient Greece. But as I've learned more about ancient Greece, I've kind of realized they're slightly opposite, because a lot of basically Africa suffered from ancient Greece, because ancient Greece and a lot of like even today we still see theatre. We still see the Olympics started in ancient Greece, gymnasium, javelin, discus, all of that stuff. What else? Like ancient Greek thought is still in today, and that's a lot of where the colonialism that first originated from ancient Greek, probably from a lot of the philosophers we speak about, but Aristotle is the one who kind of created that theory. Basically, he kind of created the whole white is right doctrine. Yeah, so obviously, the Asia, basically, I think at the time Persia was dominating Asia Minor, and obviously they were the Greeks, the Europeans and whatnot. He basically came along the line with the philosophy that because we're in the warmer weather, we are basically, obviously, they were polytheistic at the time, so therefore people who were born in the warmer weather.
What does that mean?
Polytheistic means many gods or multiple gods. Monotheistic is like Christian, Judaism, Islam. We believe God is one. There's one God. But obviously, polytheistic is they worship many gods. You know, they had Zeus, Greek, blah blah. And you know, Rome, after Rome conquered them, they basically took on a lot. That's why it's the Greco-Roman period or the Greco-Roman Empire, because the Greek fought, but the Romans adopted Greek thought, because when they invaded Greece, they went into their libraries and they took a lot of Greek thought and implemented it into Rome. And you see Rome didn't even get conquered, it imploded on itself. But that's because they were just messed up. But anyway, Aristotle basically, like, fam, yeah, if Aristotle, well, like, he up, but basically made it that people with who live in warmer climates, they were less spirited, and so they were born to be slaves. Yeah, like they were born to be slaves, or born to be led, and that people were white with a So straight nose, blue eyes, and paler skin. Obviously, they were born in the colder, harsher weather and stuff like that. They were born to lead, and that's kind of where that white right doctrine first ever really originated, and that's kind of how it went on. But even as that's too much.
No, I want more, man.
Nah, but basically, even in terms of when Christianity finally took over, not took over, but when Christianity finally conquered Rome, and Constantine was actually finally made it Christianity an original religion. They had people come from North Africa in the Council of Nicaea. It was kind of like to establish some of the doctrines or whatever, and we had African people were involved in establishing some of the doctrines, like the doctrine of the Trinity and things like that. But you know, that's say they brought Christianity to us, but you know, that's a story for another day still. But
There is a white man's religion.
yeah.
It's proper interesting when you hear about it.
Yeah.
Are you sure you haven't gone to Bible college, sir?
I'm
screaming.
What?
No problem.
My favourite kingdom is probably the Benin Kingdom. I can't lie. I say you guys check that out.
Benin Kingdom?
Yeah.
As in Benin in Nigeria? Or
Yeah,
Benin?
there's the Benin Kingdom, there's the Oyo Empire, there's the Great Zimbabwe, which is pretty cool. The Congo, which is pretty cool too. There's several, man.
It's mad because when you see old maps as well, obviously before some of the countries that we have now today were formed, you see Benin, you see Oyo and all that. So it's crazy. It's
Where's Oyo now?
It's like just on the tip of southern Nigeria.
Yeah.
To my
Because
knowledge.
this is what I'm saying, like, Nigeria is like a combination
Yeah.
of different kingdoms.
Yeah.
Is it like, it was for the benefit, correct me if I'm wrong, was it for the benefit of the British company, or
Yeah, I watched
was it the documentary?
There was a documentary on Netflix, isn't it? I probably need to tune into that.
What's it
What's it
called? What, the Netflix one or the,
docu-series.
or was it the, because there was one on YouTube that's like 3 hours long as well. Bernard took a snippet from it in his
the Giant, isn't it?
the another story.
yeah.
So I was even watching that. I was just like, this thing is long, but it's deep.
Oh yeah, I think I remember you mentioned that to me.
Yeah, it's deep. But there's another one on Netflix.
Yeah, the Netflix one is Journey of an African Colony, and it takes you through the different steps. But it's quite nice because some of the places he's been to is like some of the places that some of us might have even seen.
Damn.
The whole African story is
It's actually made me want to actually like look into it.
I think we owe it to ourselves to learn more about it so that we're actually able to then pass it on.
I put down my
Because
list
I feel
now.
like people know not even the surface, they just see I don't know, like we barely scratched the surface, and when you learn more, you actually get a better understanding of that. Wow, I thought we were just, like some people were probably growing up for, I thought we were just pitiful until the whites came and saved us.
Yeah, fam.
And that even though they made us slaves, it was technically for our benefit in the long run. But it's like, we had kingdoms, sure.
And the sad thing is, I don't really know how much we benefited.
I don't
really know. Some
what
people
we
say,
learned, bro, I don't think we did. Really.
some people say hospitals, but we had our own doctors and surgeons. They were doing brain surgeries before, and some of the diseases that the hospitals were built for were some of the ones that were brought in.
But
Yeah.
Europeans brought disease to a lot of places.
Yeah.
Even when they actually first
Americans, yeah.
America,
Same way
the
they
Mayans
done corona.
and that, they never had.
The way they don't corona.
I'm screaming.
No, but they're the ones that travelled everywhere.
I'm screaming.
You know what I mean?
No,
Like-
but literally, because I was learning that. So when they actually started to go to the Americas and all that, the Native Americans or whatever, most of them died not even in battle. They died because the Europeans brought diseases. These men didn't have these diseases before. Then you come and just
No, honestly, who sent them?
fam.
Who actually sent them? Is it William the Conqueror or Christopher Columbus?
Christopher Columbus was one of the ones who. Christopher Columbus is the one that discovered thing first. Yeah,
Discovered what?
He not discovered first, but he's the one that brought basically allowed people to kind of.
Fam, all you're traveling.
Yeah.
Like, sit in one place, like, it's ironic he's saying that.
There was a time where
You were really intrigued for a couple of years
they
ago.
thought there was nothing past Spain at the time. The Europeans or something. They thought there was nothing past Spain. I think there's a I think something like there's like a coin from them times and the inscription on it. I think it's in Latin or something. Basically nothing or nothing beyond this point or something like that along those lines. Like, but then obviously because of Columbus, it came and assist like, hey y'all, we got, and then all of a sudden, yeah.
The worst colonizers were the French. They had what is now Haiti.
Yeah.
And if you compare Haiti to, I remember watching a video on YouTube, I think Vice, if you compare Haiti to, I think it's the Dominican Republic, or because they're neighbors, it's scary. But yeah, now what they done to Australia, this wasn't the French, this is the British, what they done to Australia.
Australia was like a prison land, didn't it?
Yeah.
They used Australia as a prison land. They sent prisoners to Australia. That's why you have.
And in Australia, they
Brits, Australia.
Oh.
Even as well, like, I remember because I always used to hear we had I think outside of Africa, the biggest colonial group of Yoruba speaking peoples in Brazil. And I never used to understand why. Then I think I was learning. I think so. Not that many people in terms of the actual percentage. I think the majority of slaves actually ended up in like Brazil. 46% I think was actually went to Brazil. A large percent went to like obviously the Caribbean, and maybe 30 something, and then the rest wasn't as much to like America and that. But I realized 46% makes sense why there's Yoruba speaking people. Even in Cuba, apparently there's a group of people that speak a language, and the pronunciation and everything is not Yoruba, but it's almost the same. When you have someone pronouncing and speaking Yoruba and it's side by side, it's almost like. It's obviously the language probably derived from it, but it's changed over time. I just think like, damn.
My auntie is half Brazilian. Her surname is I think it's Bada, because so yeah, you're right. The slaves were sent to Brazil, but then some of them returned to Lagos. So there's a Brazilian quarters in Lagos. So yeah, she's half Brazilian.
That is cool.
Yeah, you never really. Yeah.
Also, you should read Children of Blood and Bone, by the way. You mentioned Cuba, I think.
Yeah.
I'm loving these guests that be plugging books for us.
Yeah, no,
I'm not even like a reader like that.
It's a fiction.
I just.
Why you care from me?
I'm actually, no, I don't want to come and pretend on your podcast. But no, it's Children of Blood and Bone, it's dope though.
Have you got any other books that you've read that have helped you on your journey of enlightenment with like history? And because you said that you would have studied history or thing instead, but are there like any recommendations that you would have, or maybe like you've already plugged like a Netflix series that I've added that to my list or want to watch that, but
I might have to plug it on the Insta though. I don't know if everyone will buy it, but
what's that?
No, just I'm saying put it on the Insta so that people might have missed it.
Netflix are not paying me.
No, that's cool though. Man. That's cool.
They don't pay me. You mentioned it, you can rewind.
On Spotify, they got that 15 seconds thing. When you listen to pods, you can go out 15 seconds. So do that twice. No,
a couple times. You can do it. Apple Pod as well. But have you got any that other recommendations or?
To be fair, I like museums.
Okay, yeah.
So the British Museum, probably the best museum in the world.
Okay.
Don't know that. So the British Museum, and yeah. Because I say museums because when you see the artwork, there's like descriptions.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a bit easier to engage with. So museums. YouTube is like my favorite though.
Oh, okay.
But also, I do have to give some credit. I do have to give some credit to my dad though. Like he would always send me information about like what's like the history of different kind of kingdoms and stuff. Even to the point where now I think I'm able to trace back to like maybe like 400 years type of thing. So yeah, I give him credit still.
Yeah. The British Museum, is it massive?
Yeah. Well, Africa's at the bottom, but it's got some good stuff. There's a museum in Liverpool as well, actually.
How long does it take to go around the British Museum though?
You can spend like half a day there. I enjoyed it. I've been toast.
Really?
Now I'll go again when they open.
I think.
Yeah,
because fam, I went to the tape.
Oh, so?
A couple minutes ago.
Oh yeah, I saw your picture. It was nice though.
This is good.
Huh? It was educational. I went for educational purposes.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Why'd your voice sound like that?
Huh?
Why'd your voice sound like that?
Have you got anything else to plug?
He-Man!
I don't know if you did tell us about Friday, but.
Yeah, bro. This is with me.
Look at how he's looking.
Oh, so, Matt.
Have you got anything to plug? That's the question that you have to answer.
Have you guys got anything to plug? You guys have been plugging.
Our 1 point podcast.
We hear you just bring content, man.
To be, nah, I wouldn't say because there's maybe some books I'm planning to get in the future, but I haven't read myself, so I wouldn't say I can plug them per se. But,
no, it's been very educational, bro.
I think I heard of one though. This is kind of like links in with African history, but then also its influence on Christianity. So I think how Africa shaped the Christian mind. That's someone I've been told about. So yeah. Oh, stop, man. Nah, I think it's good because just to get a holistic understanding of like, so you see the mix between like theology and then the history of things and everything. Like, yeah, definitely important, bro. When you actually learn about biblical history as well, you see that like African involvement is there, like it's there. And when you actually dig into it, the whole it's a white man's religion and stuff like that. It's kind of like it doesn't really stand up. It doesn't really stand up.
Okay.
Google, there's something I want to search for. But no, you might continue.
Also, yeah, but literally.
No, as I just said, like there's so much to learn. It sounds crazy.
But the thing is, like, fam, the only way that we will grow, like,
that's why
I was speaking to my friend, and they were just like, fam, if you want to know anything in life, it's gonna be found in a book. Like anything that is worth knowing is gonna be found in a book. Someone's gonna write it down. The people with the most knowledge, the people who have something to give, like really give, like they're gonna put it in a book somewhere for you. Like it's gonna be written down somewhere. So like, fam, it's out there for us to know. It's just about knowing where to go and find it, really and truly.
Yeah.
Like,
you could actually learn so much. That's why I think reading, is deep. I think when I kind of rekindled like the passion of reading this year, innit? Like, bro, when you deep, sometimes I think remember was it you that told me it was the day to make a joke? Or if you want to hide something from a black man, if you want to hide something from a black man.
Who told you that joke?
Bro, it's not a joke, but you said something that people.
Oh, that people someone
say if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book or something like that. But it's like, bro, like something really deep is like you want to learn something. I don't know. You could spend all day trying to find sources, but it's like there's a book here. This is 280 pages, maybe 300 or maybe less. Well, that's quite small. And it's like, okay, bro, all of this is compacted. This person is an expert per se, or maybe they've done all the research. Instead of you go and do the research, and they'll put it all in the book. All the loose ends, they've tied it together. And you can spread it in the book, like, and it's crazy. Like, even just for it could be history, it could be for things on Christianity, just things like that.
It's big still. Even remember the other day when we were one of the kids that Abby's mum babysits. Oh yeah. And he's like, I forgot how old he said.
He said
like
he's
7, 9?
He's 9.
9, fam. This guy was reading like a 300-page book, fam. There were some pictures.
The book was hench.
The book was hench. And I was like, I said his name, I was like, because I always see him reading that whenever I go, and I'm like, you read this? He was like, yeah. And I was like, well, do you enjoy reading? He's like, yeah. I was like, was it what? Just because you could imagine the stuff or whatever? And he's like, yeah, no, I really like reading. And I was like, damn.
No,
I said 9 years old and he's reading 300-page books. Like,